I never saw this job as stable or sustainable. When I had a schedule where I had to do something, I would just literally walk over to the other side of the office, which was the studio,
Right.
and then film whatever I had to film and then go back to my own desk. I'm someone who's really blunt. However, that is something that goes directly against Thai working culture. Being blunt isn't necessarily viewed as a good thing. With confidence, you can do anything, and no one will question it at all. You can trick yourself to be confident when you're actually not. It's all right to be confident in front of people, but it's also all right to not be confident inside. If you fail, ช่างแม่ง If you fail, fuck it.
This is Community Featuring. My name is Vic and welcome to the show. Our guest today, of course, is one of the most requested to appear on the show, but also the hardest one to book. Of course, he's super busy with, of course, the work in entertainment, but also in fashion, domestically and also internationally. Let's go meet him now. Phuwin, สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
Finally.
Wait, let me switch languages first.
We've been talking in Thai.
Yeah, we were talking in Thai earlier, and it's.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the things that really interesting about the human brain is that when you switch languages, it kind of takes like a bit of time to like switch your brain into
Right.
that particular language, especially if I don't know if a lot of people are the same as me, but I'm someone who is able to think in both languages.
Right.
So like that transition takes a bit more time to like think in that particular language.
In order to have like both languages at the same time, occupying your brain.
Yeah, I feel like it's if your brain is like a computer and the language is like a CD or like a memory stick, it's you have to like
CD. Come on, you're not in the same era as CD anymore.
Well, I mean, if it's like a USB or something,
Okay,
like
better.
you're gonna have to take the Thai one out and like stick the English one in.
Sure.
Yeah, but that was a really grand opening for me. Thank you.
But you've been busy.
Yeah.
And I speak the truth when I say you're the hardest one to book. but we appreciate your being here today with us on the show.
It's my pleasure. I'm a fan of The Standard and Community.
So nice.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to today.
Right. So your ability to think and use both languages, actually three, not just two, because you also speak Chinese, right?
Yeah.
So has it always been like this? That
No, actually. Okay, let me start with Chinese.
Okay.
So since I'm not that proficient with Chinese, I think that I'm not that good with the language. So I don't think in Chinese. I think in either Thai or English. So whenever I speak in that language, I think like most people who has English as a second language or whatever language as a second language, you tend to have to like translate it back to your mother tongue, then speak that language, or when you listen to something, you have to translate it back first.
that's a process, right?
Yeah, so there's a process, there's a link there. But for Thai and English, actually, since I studied in an international school since I was young, my English was always better than my Thai. However, it was because of the entertainment industry and working with a lot of Thai scripts, working with a lot of a lot of Thai media that helped me gain that proficiency in Thai and helped me be able to think in Thai. I would say.
But you're doing great, like in both languages.
Thank you.
But I understand that you get to use a lot more English and Chinese because, as I mentioned before, you work internationally too.
Well, yes, I do work internationally, but actually, no. Actually, most of my work is in Thai, and Thai is the main language that I use. Chinese even less so. Like, especially since, although I have a lot of international fans and especially Chinese fans, I don't get the opportunity to use the language often.
Yeah, and as they say, you either use it or lose it. Do you have that problem?
I have lost it, definitely.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of recovering it.
Okay.
But I don't have that much time to recover it that much since I took Chinese as a third language in middle school and high school. And throughout my university years, I completely forgot about it and completely left it in like the back shelves of my brain.
Right.
And And when it was time to use it again, I mean, I could use it to like a really, really small extent. I can understand mostly what people were saying, but I couldn't really speak it. Which I've noticed that it was a problem with a lot of people who has not spoken a language in a long time, is that they tend to be able to understand it. Not that much to an extent, but they can't speak it. They can't form the right words.
Because you only use it in class, right? And other than that, like other places, no. You always use your mother tongue and that's it. Yeah. But I guess not the same with English in your case because it has been a big or almost bigger part of your life for a really long time. So you wouldn't lose it, even though you don't speak it for a very long time.
Okay. But one of the things I've noticed is that when I was in college, throughout the 4 years there, and I haven't used English that much, apart from inside university classes with foreign professors. So even with Thai professors, I still use Thai, right? And one of the things that I noticed was that the first time I went to Paris for Paris Fashion Week, my English compared to my high school days were considerably worse. And especially when I did an interview with Standard Pop, Coffee Minutes, or like my brain was going like a mile a minute in English, but my mouth couldn't particularly keep up or form the right words. And that was really frustrating to me because I knew what to say. I just couldn't say it.
Yeah, you just don't use it often enough, right? Because we have done research on you before, like trying to find the videos in which you speak English, but we couldn't find that many, surprisingly, because we know that you speak English really well. And sometimes you do live streaming, you speak to your fans in English and stuff like that, but not extensively, like not a very long, in a long video, right? So just a little here and there, but not like that's going to be like this.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of opportunities for media, especially in Thailand, to speak in English because there's no need. There's no actual need to do it.
No urgency for you to speak English. So, well, good thing that he's here today so we can listen to him speaking English for like a whole hour. Like hopefully. Okay, so you've done a lot actually in the biz, right? Was this your dream when you were little, or you kind of had your mind set on something else, but like for some reason life happened and then you do this?
It wasn't exactly life happened, and it wasn't exactly my dream either. At first, I must admit, I did not like acting, or I did not like this business at all.
No,
not at all. Because I'm someone who is very straightforward in everyday life, and I'm very blunt. So to me, something like acting or something that had to do with entertainment, it seemed kind of like, how should I explain it?
Like not real, or
it seemed kind of fake to me.
Authentic? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't authentic, and I'm a really authentic person. I'm a really blunt person. So when I was young, I didn't really like this business that much because I didn't feel that it was authentic or organic. And however, the changing point was that in 5th grade, actually, in 5th grade, we had a Christmas play for our school, and we had a drama teacher come and try to find kids to be in the Christmas play. And I was one of those kids who were selected. I don't know what the drama teacher saw in me. Maybe it's something that I could act to an extent, or maybe I was just a chatterbox in class. But I wasn't really afraid of people. I had quite a bit of confidence speaking with a lot of people. So she chose me for one of the main roles in the Christmas play. And however, as someone who didn't like to be in front of the stage that much, right? It wasn't that I was scared of the stage. It's just that I don't like being on it. I don't like being the center of attention that much.
Okay.
And also that I was a 5th grader. I wanted to be with my friends. I didn't want to spend lunch and break practicing rehearsing for a Christmas play that was going to be watched by parents and not my friends. So I was like, no, I'm just gonna skip practice. I'm just not gonna go.
Okay.
Until it got to the point that the drama teacher called up my mom, went to the principal's office and called up my parents, and they were like, "Hey, your kid is skipping practice." And I had like this huge argument with my mom at home about like being in the Christmas play, because I was like, why do I have to do this? This isn't even something that's required, right?
Yeah.
This isn't class where like your mom's gonna ask you for like, hey, try to get a good grade, and try to get a B or try to get an A. This isn't even class. It's just like
it wouldn't affect my grade.
Yeah, it wouldn't affect anything. It was just something that was extra, and it was, in my point of view at the time, a waste of my time.
Right.
However, when I actually got to do it, and when I got on stage, I can't describe exactly what happened, but it was kind of like a magic moment, like a magic feeling that you couldn't really find anywhere else in the world. It's a moment of being immersed on stage that you can't find in any other industry or in any other type of job. And I think that was what got me hooked into this industry or this feeling. It was like sort of a joy, sort of a bliss on being on stage.
Yeah.
Which is why I just decided like, this is fun.
Yeah.
And why not? Let's try it.
So was it like the presence on the stage and being watched by people, or the acting itself that got you?
I think it was a mixture of both. The acting itself definitely got me hooked on it, but it was also, it wasn't the moment of being on stage and seeing the people below, but it was the moment of gratification after.
I see.
You know, in plays or in musicals, right? Usually what will happen is that at the end, you come out, you bow on stage.
Right.
It was that moment that like, you see the audience enjoying it and you're like, maybe this isn't so bad at all. Maybe the inauthenticness of not actually being yourself on stage was actually fun for me.
Right.
So that got me onto that path. However, I didn't view it as a dream exactly. It was just something fun to do at that time.
That you know now that, this is another thing that you can enjoy doing.
Yes.
Right. Did you watch the playback of yourself on the stage?
I've never actually. Of that particular play, never actually.
Okay. Because that would be something else. I mean, like watching a kid who kind of hates acting in the first place, enjoying himself immensely and didn't know it.
Yeah, and throughout like all the rehearsal sessions, I was just like that one moody kid in the corner. Like,
I didn't want to be here.
I didn't want to be here. My parents are forcing me here. Yeah.
I see. But it turned out to be the best experience for you.
Yeah, it turned out to be kind of life-changing.
And life-changing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, even though you didn't view it as a dream, but did you pursue more acting in some way at all?
I actually didn't pursue it at all.
Okay.
It was just something I like, okay, this is fun.
All right.
This is pretty cool.
Okay.
This is fun. Until, so I have, how should I explain it? She's not my sister. She's not my cousin, but I call her my younger sister. She's the daughter of my dad's colleague. And we were close ever since she was born, right? So she's been with me ever since I was a kid. So I call her my younger sister because the first time I saw her was when she was being delivered. So so I call her my younger sister.
Right.
And she was a child actor already. She was in the industry. She did commercials. She did lakon. She did a lot of stuff in the industry, right? And there was one day where I can't remember exactly, but I think my parents were picking her up instead of her parents. And we were waiting in the casting room. There was a casting room and there's a waiting room, right? We were just waiting outside. And I think that one of the casting directors or something just saw me sitting outside, and there was like a role that was in my age description that kind of had the same typecast as me. So they were like, hey, why not come try it out? And I tried it out and I was like, this is pretty fun. So from that point on, whenever like she had casting or she had work somewhere, I would just go with her.
Yeah, tag along too.
Tag along, right.
Probably join into audition.
Yeah, like sometimes because there was nothing better to do for a sixth grader.
And did you get it the first time you try out?
Did I get it?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly. I don't think I got it, but
Was it for like commercial or?
yeah, I think it was for commercial, but it wasn't very long until I got my first one. It was only like, it was either the first one or the second try.
I see.
That I got my first commercial. And after being like on set, after trying it out, and especially after seeing that much money for a 11-year-old,
Yeah.
Getting-
Again, for a sixth
getting
grader.
paid that much for one day, I was like,
Okay, this is my life now.
why not? I was like, why not?
Wow.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you did was for commercial, right?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was ขนมแคมปัส
Ah.
Yeah,
I see.
And it was actually pretty funny because, you know, Konom Campus, they tend to like collaborate with different toys, with different brands, right? And for that particular commercial, it was for Mass Rider. That particular character was like two-tone. It was like a fusion of some
Oh, I
character.
know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it was two-tone, so it was like one side was one color, the other side was another color. And what I had to do was that I had to paint my entire body. For my first job, one side was purple and the other side was like
Green.
light green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like a very interesting experience for my first job, and I was like, oh, why not? It was actually pretty fun. So after that, I started like doing more castings and started going into like different jobs in the industry, such as like ละคร such as musicals.
Which one do you like better? Because musical, that requires you to sing too. And
Yeah.
Were you a good singer at the time?
I'd say I'm a decent singer.
I see.
Not the best, but I can perform.
But you had fun
decently.
singing.
Yeah, but I had
right?
fun. I
Okay.
enjoyed singing ever since I was young. So
Right.
I think that was a very, very valuable experience for me.
Okay. And what was the musical?
The Sound of Music.
Oh, you were playing one of the kids? One of
Yeah,
the
I was
children?
one of the 7 children.
Right.
And I think this musical is probably like a classic that most people know.
Yeah.
If you don't know The Sound of Music, you'll definitely know this song. Do a deer, a female deer,
Right.
Ray, a drop of golden sun. Yeah, this is something that I think most people know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's from this musical, and I got to be one of the 7 kids, the eldest male child.
Yeah, the older one.
The
Because
eldest child.
There were only like 2 male kids, right?
Yeah, the only two
Yeah.
two sons.
So how was the experience
It
for
was
the musical?
it was interesting. It was because the overall casting time as in the first time I casted for the role, to the first time being on stage with that musical was around 2.5 years.
Wow.
And rehearsals took 2 years.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
so-
a really long time.
Yeah, that's a really long time. And being focused on just one thing and one role for 2 years changes people a lot.
Right, because that's what happens to like a musical stars. Like they stick to one role, doing everything every night
Yeah.
for a long period of time, right?
Yeah, and our training time or rehearsal time was longer than the other cast members because we were 7 kids.
Yeah.
And getting 7 children in one room isn't easy.
Right. So it looks to me like you were heading toward the entertainment path, but
Yeah.
somehow you ended up studying engineering.
Yes.
So would you view it as like this is my plan B now, or engineering actually is plan A and entertainment is plan B, or what?
Engineering is actually plan A.
Oh.
And entertainment is plan B because
You still didn't see yourself like working, like having this profession for real, like
I only saw myself having this profession for the rest of my life around 7 months ago.
okay,
Yeah, because
very recently.
very, very recently, because I never saw this job as stable or sustainable. Because
For you or in general?
both for me and in general,
Okay.
right? Because this is a harsh truth, but in order for this job to be sustainable, being an actor, being an idol, especially in Thailand, you got to be like the top 0.1% to be sustainable and to do it for a long time, right? Which I never believed in myself being able to do this for a long time. And although, yes, the money is sustainable, it's not consistent enough in the long run to sustain yourself. Because you have to admit that the world runs about money, and especially your life. And if you don't have enough of it to not only sustain yourself but your family behind you, then you probably have to end up doing something else in the long run. Right. So I never really saw it as sustainable.
Yeah, but what changed 7 months ago?
What changed was what changed was basically that a combination of two things.
Okay.
Of one being although I was studying engineering, I did not do anything that my other peers were doing. So, for example, like building your own resume, building your own portfolio, or building the particular skill set that had to be used by engineers. So like, I knew that even if I went and applied for a job, nobody would accept because, especially with the job market right now, and not only that, I don't have the skill set to support it. Right. And the other thing was, I invested so much time into this entertainment industry at the cost of the other skills of in engineering, to the point that I can actually view myself now as doing this job, and I now have enough work to support myself in the long run. And I actually now see that, this is something that I can be doing for a long time, which is why it changed.
Yeah, so it becomes clearer that, okay, I can see a clearer future now for me in entertainment business, as opposed to engineering.
Yeah, because a lot of people, when I applied for university, almost everybody around me was like, why didn't you go into comm arts? Like, everyone was saying this, from my cousins to my teachers at school to my friends. They were like, you na engineering, which everybody knew that I was going to go either into medicine or engineering, but they didn't actually believe that I was going to do it.
At one point, we have learned that you did intern as someone who would take care of like the website maintenance, but at GMM
Yeah, actually.
How did that come about?
So, for my university, the university requires you to do an internship on your junior year, right? However, the internship has to be engineering related, which was a problem for me because, let me be frank, that my schedule at that time, I could not do an internship
like
anywhere.
A full-time internship,
like a full-time
anywhere.
internship, right? So, and luckily, GMM has a software engineering department, which may sound weird. It may sound weird, right? But bear with me. It has a software engineering department because we have many services such as our online shop and other in-house tools that are used by employees that are developed in-house by GMM, which is why I was like, oh, wait, this is actually could be a viable option. So I applied for an internship there, and my official position was, I can't remember the name of my position, but it was about UI.
Okay.
User interface. Yeah, so I was helping with the user interface in the company.
Engineering related?
Yeah.
Somehow?
It's software engineering.
It's software engineering, okay.
Yeah, my major is communications engineering, which encompasses things from like telecommunications, software engineering, coding. So this was one of the things that I could do, which was user interface.
All right. And you were already at GMM, right? At the time?
Yeah.
Okay. It worked out pretty well.
It worked out pretty well.
You can intern and then do the job later.
And what was pretty funny was actually like, where I interned at, the office space, so our office has 2 floors, right? And the top floor, half of it is like a studio, dance practice rooms and whatever, and the other half is the office. My office was on that floor, so I would come into work at like 10 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., right? And stay in like the office for like 3-4 hours.
Right.
And then when I had a schedule where I had to do something, I would just literally walk over to the other side of the office, which was the studio,
right.
and then film whatever I had to film and then go back to my own desk.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
Actually. Very smart.
Very convenient for the time, actually. Yeah.
And you were very smart to like think of this option. Like, oh, okay, combine the two, and then you can very easily like transported to another side of yours that
but
you have to work.
Yeah, but it didn't mean that like I didn't do any work at all. I still
right.
actually had to be an intern and like I actually still had
And
to
pass
do
your internship.
Yeah, I had to pass my internship, had to have a portfolio, a project to for the university and the company.
Okay, all right. But now that we're done with the studying of engineering, okay,
I finally graduated.
Right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Now you can focus 100% on the work that you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the first role that you got, like officially first role that was significant for you? What was that?
The first role that was significant. So if my first acting role, I can't remember the name of the character exactly, but it was my first speaking role.
Okay.
It was in a lakon called Arun Sawat.
Arun Sawat. Oh,
Yes, which I don't remember the details exactly because like I was very young back then, but it was with a friend named Yod Yong Sin, which a lot of people probably know.
Yeah.
And so it was my first speaking role and it was my first dip into the acting industry. And I think that alone has opened a lot of paths for me. From that one work, it had led to many other minor acting roles and like most notably probably the lakons people may know would be like ซีรีส์เรื่องมังกร from ช่อง 3 หนึ่งในสวงอย่างเงี้ยare probably like lakons that people will know. Yeah, and after that, it led to many other different opportunities.
Right. You said before that you enjoy the final part where you just came out on the stage and bowed to the audience and then just gave you some satisfaction. But now it's different, right? It's acting still, but you have to work with camera, with crew, with like different things now when you work at Lakon, right? So did it change the feelings?
Well, it did actually. Because back then everything was so tense, especially on set. Like everyone was so tense and the directors were strict. And as a kid, I didn't really know what to do. I didn't even know what acting was. I just knew that like, okay, I have this script, I have this line. Let's just do it to the best of my ability. Right? And it was very pressuring. It was very tiring at first. However, I soon learned to enjoy it. Being in a role, being immersed in a role has its own charm, has its own fun in it. So after I got to learn how to be immersed in it, I think it helped a lot as it was way more fun than before. But the first few times was very pressuring.
I think that's what happened to a lot of like new actors and new like star because you still have to learn the rope, know like how things work around here, stuff like that, right? Okay. What was the next big thing for you since your first speaking role? Remember?
The next big thing was the musical, Sound of Music. Yeah, because I've never been in anything like it before, and Thailand's musical industry isn't really that big.
Right.
So being part of that was like a major part of my life, and it led to me discovering a lot of things about myself. Because as I said earlier, I'm someone who's really blunt. However, that is something that goes directly against Thai working culture. Being blunt isn't necessarily viewed as a good thing in most situations. So that was the place where I got to learn a lot about myself and I got to learn a lot about working with other people, how to speak with other people, how to phrase my words more softly yet get the same message across.
Sound like you learned it the hard way.
Yeah, I learned it the hard way.
But did you have like major problems at the beginning, or it was like something that you can catch pretty early on and then kind of?
I think it was quite a major problem for me.
Okay.
Looking back on it, it's a major problem. At that time, I didn't think too much on it, but I was glad that it happened because it helped me a lot to shape me to become who I am today.
Oh, that's good. So that's what we do. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from the past,
Yeah.
and then do it better.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's something that I like and it's something that I enjoy doing, so why not try it? There's no harm in trying either way.
Sure. Yeah. I think I kind of saw the pattern here from like the first time that you kind of try acting and then singing, even though you didn't have that much confidence to begin with, you can learn to gain more, like by doing it, like giving it a shot, right?
Yeah. So one of the things that I think is my advantage over other people is that I don't care if I fail. I don't really care if I make mistakes because I view mistakes as something that's normal. And so, like Gemini said, if you fail, ช่างแม่ง If you fail, fuck it, right?
Oh, you watched that episode of Gemini.
Yeah, I watched that episode. Like,
Yeah,
if you fail,
and you agree with him.
I agree with him. I agree with him. If you fail, fuck it. Like, there's nothing else that you can do either way except solve that problem and make sure that it doesn't happen the next time.
Right. Have you always been like this, or something happened then you changed this kind of mindset?
I have always been like this. As long as I've tried it, then that's just enough. Try it enough to know whether you like it or not.
Right.
Then decide.
So was it the same kind of thinking that got you into be involved with fashion now?
Yeah.
But you having done some fashion work,
Yeah.
maybe they saw something, and
Yeah,
of
I
course
think-
they did, right?
Yeah, I think they saw a lot of things in me that I myself did not see in myself.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've talked about this with them before. And when a brand looks at someone to be their ambassador, to represent their brand, they look at that person's personality and what exactly does that person stand for exactly. And they said that it was exactly that. It was my chillness. It was my sense of not being attached to a particular fashion sense that made them interested in me, because it made me able to carry different outfits that may not look particularly outstanding on everyone, but I was able to carry it with a mindset of not being worried about my own outfit that much, which made them like me.
I see.
Because sometimes outfits, right, play a role in a person's confidence.
Sure.
Yeah, and for example, if you go out to like a wedding wearing nothing but your pajamas, of course your self-confidence is going to is going to go down, right? And how you represent yourself in that situation is tied to how you carry yourself and the fashion that you wear. And I think that it's the way that I don't have a particular mindset of whether like this outfit is so bad or this outfit is so good that makes me able to wear it in such a way that you don't really feel unnatural from looking at it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Which was really mind-blowing to me when I heard it. I was like, oh, wow.
But that is so impressive. Was it me?
Yeah.
Was it me you're talking about?
Yeah,
of course it's me. Okay, but did you understand the word like friend of the house at the time? Were you familiar with the term?
I was not familiar at all.
Okay.
I was only familiar with the words of being a friend of and being a presenter, because that's what we use in Thailand for different commercial products, not necessarily fashion, but like commercial products. Right.
But we have heard like ambassador to the brand or like being amused of a brand. But what is exactly the friend of the house or the friend of the brand? What's the difference?
So the differences aren't exactly that big, and you could say to an extent it's not really that different, because at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're representing the brand in what you wear, in your own personality and your own everyday life, right? So it's not that different no matter what position you're in, because at the end of the day, they have chosen you as a representative of the brand, right? So mostly the differences is just in the wording,
I see.
in the framing, and in the brand's own usage.
Okay.
their own terms of usage.
So what is the nature of the collaboration then? Like when you talk to the brand, what do they expect from you, or what do you have to do for the brand?
So there's not necessarily a thing that I have to do, but being a friend of the house is representing the brand in your own everyday life. So it's you, yourself, and your personality being tied to that particular brand. Because brands, they don't exactly look at a person and they don't exactly view their ambassador or their friends as a commercial product. Right? They view it as someone who embodies that brand or has to wear that brand's clothes and integrate it into their own daily lives and not feel forced.
Okay.
So the average person, for example, in my case, it's LOEWE, right? If the average person sees me wearing LOEWE, it has to be in a sense that, oh wow, that outfit is so fitting on him. Or it has to create that sense that like, oh, this person and this brand goes so well together. Goes hand in hand.
Right. Okay. So it needs to be authentic.
Yeah, it has to be authentic.
From the inside, from the outside, looking in.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. So it's not just like, because we have heard that this is like people or brand pays you to wear their products or their outfit.
Yeah, which is exactly what they want to avoid.
Right.
Yeah, they don't want people to view it as, oh, this person is just wearing this because he's being paid to wear it. That's the exact thing that they want to avoid. They want to choose the right person that can represent their brand, can wear their brand, and people view it as something that that person would actually wear in their everyday lives.
It's got to be like natural.
Yeah.
Okay. And authentic. Coming back to the word authentic.
Yeah, and authentic, which is something that I'm totally down with.
Right. Okay. And you have to travel a lot for your work as a friend of the house.
Yeah. Yes.
So tell me about what you have done so far. Like what event you have joined, or what particularly like what mission did you have to do?
So the major ones were, the first one was in Thailand when they opened an exhibition in Thailand, and they invited many different like artists and people in the industry to help collaborate. And that was my first taste being with LOEWE, because they flew in a film crew from Europe to film just that event. And that opened my eye a lot about the fashion world, because like the way that the foreign fashion industry views their own work and their own ideas are very different from how we do it. So once I got a taste of that, it was really amazing. And I was like, wow, this is really different. So, and the second mission was my first time in Paris Fashion Week during last year's fall-winter collection. And that was really eye-opening, going to France for the first time, being in Paris, meeting different designers, meeting different people. And the latest one was around a month ago. Yeah,
I see.
Going to the latest fashion week with LOEWE.
That's good. Okay, let's play a little game, because we have prepared some game for you.
All right.
It's not going to be embarrassing anyway. It's going to be like fun, lighthearted. So I just want you to pick from these emoji, if you will, and then we have a question associated with that emoji to ask you. Okay, the first one is the emoji or the icon of an airplane. So the question to you is that if you could visit any fictional world, where would you go?
Fictional?
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. Fictional. I'm someone who reads a lot of fantasy books. I really love fantasy books.
Okay.
Yeah, and if there was one fictional world that I could visit, I don't know what the world's called, but it's from a book called Aragon.
Oh, Aragon.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite books growing up.
Okay.
And my favorite series. So probably that world because I haven't.
They're dragons and stuff, right?
Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
thought about this book in a long time, and that was the first thing that came to mind. So
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the details exactly, but I think that would be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So you love fantasy?
Yeah,
also,
I love fantasy.
Cool.
So I
Have
grew
you
up.
been in any fantasy series or ละคร or
No, not yet, but
Oh,
I
okay.
have one historical drama coming up, which is sort of fantasy in the middle
Okay.
called Scarlet Heart,
okay?
which is the Thai version, which will be very, very interesting to
What
film.
can you tell us about that at
So,
this point?
I can't tell you much, not because I don't want to, because I don't know either.
It's still being filmed, right?
Not even being filmed yet. The script is being written right now as we speak.
So it's a future
Yeah,
project.
it's a future project.
But it's happening.
But it's happening.
I see.
Yes.
Was it like the adaptation from international series, right?
Yeah. It's an adaptation from a Chinese novel or light novel, which has been remade into a Chinese drama and a Korean drama.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this time we are doing the Thai version. So
gonna be
very,
huge.
very excited to see how it's
Right.
going to come out.
Okay. All right. Okay. Next one, please. Next one. What do you have?
Yeah. Cake.
A cake. Okay. If you could invent a crazy food combination, or you didn't even have to invent, maybe it's something that you already eat, what would that be? Like eating something with something, like pairing them together in a very unconventional way that most people don't even think about.
Oh, that's interesting.
What's your favorite food to have?
My favorite, it's really hard, but my top two are beef, like meat, like all different types of beef, like steak, yakiniku, shabu, those type of stuff. And the second one is ramen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think that but for me personally, I think one of the combinations that I like the most, and I think it's a more of a Thai thing. I don't see a lot of foreigners eating this. Is that bolognese spaghetti with fried chicken?
It doesn't sound weird at all.
It doesn't sound weird.
It sounds like it could go together.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's something like I had ever since I was a kid because at home my mom does a lot of cooking and she has her own version of like Thai bolognese. It's for those who are Italian or those who are Western, it's going to sound really weird to you, but the bolognese is sweet. It's made with ketchup. Don't blame us. It's really good tasting. It's really good. But yeah, it's sweet. Made with ketchup and paired with like fried chicken, which is made in the Thai way, which I don't know about other people, but in my house we just use soy sauce, ซีอิ๊วขาว and MSG, ผงชูรส That's it. And flour, that's it.
Yeah.
And I think those two paired together are like the perfect combination for me.
They sound good together. Yeah, I'll try it.
It's really good. It's really
Okay.
good.
All right. Okay. So if you don't know what to eat tonight, just give it a whirl. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Next one. What do you have?
A glass of wine.
Okay. So wine. If you could have dinner, okay, with any historical figure or fictional character, who would you
Ooh.
pick? And
I've seen this question many times. I've never thought about it actually.
yeah. Have you answered this question before?
Never.
Okay.
It would be Rasputin.
Rasputin.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really interesting because he has been deemed by history as a madman
Sure. Yeah.
and deemed as like a holy saint or unkillable, right? I think people have heard about the story about his death being
Yeah.
like shot many times and not dying.
Yeah.
And I think it would be interesting to have dinner with him because I always believe that history is written by the winners and history isn't accurate.
Yeah.
And I just want to verify how accurate
Yeah.
it is. And I wanted to get to know this man because being able to be close friends with the Tsar of Russia,
I know.
yet at the same time being hated by the entire Russian population
Yeah.
is something very interesting. And I don't think a madman could just get into that position.
Yeah. I think it's a game of power.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to
You
be
have to be
involved in
smart.
that,
I sincerely believe that
yeah.
there's no way that you could just be a madman and just be in the middle of that. You have to be smart.
Yeah. That's a great choice because I am also amazed by his story. as well because it looks like out of this world. Like how
Yeah.
could a guy do this and be in his position, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Great choice. Okay. Next one. You've
Oh.
got hearts. Okay. So if you could take someone, anyone on a date anywhere, where would it be? And
On a
what
date
would you
anywhere?
guys do? Yeah. The place.
Let's do like a first date.
Okay.
All right, a first date type situation. This is one of my favorite places to be in the world, but it's a park.
A park.
Yeah, and either like a national park or anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Because whenever I go to any country, my managers will know it. I'll have people who travel with me will know it. Is that we don't tend to be able to go out during the day because we work during the day, but we'll have free time at night. And one of my favorite things to do is go take walks around parks in different countries.
Wow.
And it may sound dangerous a bit, but my park walks would usually be at like midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. But I really, really enjoy walking around parks and being around nature. And I think that would be a perfect first date for me.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
So midnight stroll in the park with
Yep.
Phuwin.
Yep.
Would you go? I bet you would. Okay. All right. Last
Don't worry,
one.
I won't do anything.
Okay. Last but not least. Okay. You have got, you know what it is, right?
ประตูโดเรมอน
ถูกต้อง So like the ประตูไปไหนก็ได้ If you had this, where would you go?
Like a portal to anywhere.
Yes.
Where would I go? I would want this with me all the time to go to work.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about this before we started
Right.
recording, but I love traveling, but I hate the process of traveling. I hate being in a car. I hate being in an airplane. I hate waiting.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
if I could just cut down on transportation time, that would
Right.
be perfect.
So this will be perfect for you.
Yeah.
Like just give Phuwin a door to anywhere, then he'll be
Yeah.
happy.
A flight to New York is like what? From Singapore to New York is 18 hours already.
I know. It's almost
Right.
a day.
It's almost a day. And we're in Thailand. We don't have a direct flight. We have to transfer somewhere else, either like
know.
Dubai, Singapore,
Yeah,
Japan.
such a hassle.
Yeah. It's a full 1 day of travel. That's just 1 day gone. So please just give me this.
Okay, so you love traveling.
Yeah,
And you've
yeah.
been to many places.
Yep.
Any place that is the most memorable and you want to keep going back to? Even though you have to like be in a plane for like 16 hours.
If the most, let's just separate it into two questions, right? The first part, the memorable one. The second part, the one I can keep going back to. The country that I could keep going back to is Japan, because I'm a big foodie and I love trying out different foods, trying out different things.
You said you love ramen before, right?
Yeah, and ramen is one of my favorite foods. So Japan, definitely. And the most memorable place would probably be the most memorable place for me is Hong Kong.
Oh,
Actually,
why is that?
Because I grew up with Hong Kong. My mother is a flight attendant, air hostess for Cathay Pacific. So she's based in Hong Kong. And ever since I was young, it was a place that I would fly to like almost every 6 months, every 3 months. So it's a place that I dare say that I grew up in. And I think that now that my mom has already retired, she doesn't work with the airline anymore. I don't get many opportunities to go there. Yet I am still attached to it. So I feel like no matter what, that is still one of my most memorable places.
Wow, nice. And I bet you want to kind of go back and check out if anything's different from what you can remember.
Yeah. So because every time I go back, I always go to my old apartment, my mom's old apartment. So we no longer have it now because she doesn't work there, right?
Yeah.
But we always go back there, and I always just stay like at the bottom of the building. I just look up and I just stare for like 5-10 minutes.
Remembering good old days.
Yeah, just remembering.
Oh, nice. Okay. Talking about your upcoming project, which is still way in the future, Scarlet Heart. So is Bonds gonna be in there too?
No.
No. Okay. Because there's the like chemistry between you two, and everybody love you guys together, right? So let's talk a little bit about him.
Yeah.
What do you
sure.
like most about Bond?
What do I like most about him? I like his passion. So I'm someone who values a lot of like old timer values, right? Like stuff is like being hardworking, being respecting others, right? And I think that I respect his passion a lot because whenever he's passionate about something, he dives in head first. Like he just goes right through it head first. And a lot of times I have to like, I'm someone who likes to look at the bigger picture. Right? And a lot of the times I have to like try and grab him and pull him back. It's like, hey, okay, I know you're you're passionate. I know you want to do this, but let's step back a bit.
Okay, easy.
Easy. Yeah.
Right.
And that's the one thing that's one of the things I really, really like about him is that since he's so passionate, when he gets passionate about something, he goes all in and he works really hard on it. And I think that's a really respectable quality in a person.
Yeah, I think it's very understandable because a lot of times we kind of admire a person for the quality that we don't actually have. But wow, you can be like someone who's different from me, but I admire you for that, right?
Yeah. Because Phan and I are like two different poles of a magnet. Because like we're really, really different.
Right.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like I think it's like a magnet. At the end of the day, when we're together, I think there's something that a lot of people like about it.
Yeah. So being in the series that you have been in gave you the opportunity to be exposed to a lot of international fans too. And I bet they gave you like lovely feedbacks and like send you nice messages. So what would be some things that they have told you that you still remember?
Is that they came from across the world just to see us for like 15 minutes. And I think that it was something that really touched me. I think it was a Thai fan, but they said that they flew all the way from like Washington in the States just to see us. And I know from experience how expensive that trip is, and
the time spent on the flight.
Time spent on the flight, So it was something that touched me a lot because like, wow, these people who love us yet we don't know personally are able to sacrifice and give this much for us.
Yeah, they invested in you guys, right?
Yeah, and it was something that really touched me and was really heartwarming.
And I'm sure they're watching right now because we always get a lot of international fans on this show anyway. So do you have anything to say to them right now?
Yeah, I'm not that good with words, but thank you very much for being with me every step of the way. And I hope that we'll be together for quite a while. I know people come, people go, but let's just stay together as long as possible.
That is very nice. And I have got to say you worth the wait. Because we've been waiting for you to be on the show for so long, and today I have a really good time. And I think that you kind of do too. You have a good time, right? Okay. And I am impressed with how you speak, how you use your English, and
thank you.
Everything, all the stories that you are telling us is so great, very impressive. So before we leave, before I say goodbye today, there's one thing that I asked all of my guests. So our show, คำนี้ดี So obviously we are keen on words, right? We love words. So we would like to know naturally what your favorite words are in all the languages that you speak.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with Thai.
Okay.
Actually, let's start with Chinese. Then
Sure.
Then we'll end with English.
We can do that.
For me in Chinese, since I'm not that proficient, there aren't a lot of words I know, but there's one word that has really touched me, and that is 辛苦了.
辛苦了.
辛苦, it's like it's like thank you for your hard work. And I feel like we don't really have this particular word for Thai and both English. Because like, if you're gonna thank someone for their hard work, you just say thank you or like say thank you very much. But this more directly translates to like both encouraging you and thanking you. And it encompasses a lot more than just saying thank you for your hard work. And I think this word is really personal to me because there are a lot of times that I get overwhelmed with work. And I think that a short phrase that just gets to the point of thanking for everything, yet also encouraging you is something that helps me a lot.
Wow, that is nice.
Yeah.
Shingu, right?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
As for Thai, my favorite word is ปล่อยวาง
ปล่อยวาง
Yeah, ปล่อยวาง because you gotta let go. Yeah, there are a lot of things that you gotta let go in life, and there's not necessarily a thing or someone that could tell you what exactly you have to let go, but it's something that you have to realize for yourself, and you have to get it off of your chest by yourself. Right? Other people can't do it for you. But I think it's one of the most important things that you have to do, because otherwise you won't be able to take on the future and take what is in store for you. Yeah.
Wow, I like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And finally, for English, there is one book that is one of my favorite books in the world. And this word isn't an actual word in the English dictionary, but it is in a book called The Dictionary of Words for Obscure Sorrows. Ooh, okay.
So I think, Phoebe, I think that you'll really like this book because this book is nothing but just a list of words describing feelings that the English language does not have.
Wow.
So there are like many, many different words that this author made up just to describe a particular feeling, right? And my favorite word is, I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce it correctly because it's not an actual word. Like, I tried searching it up before coming here to find the pronunciation, but I couldn't find it. But I think it's Sokka, like S-O-C-H-A.
Sokka.
Yeah, and the author wrote that his definition of this word is that it is the feeling of confidence that you give to other people, yet at the same time, you're not actually confident inside.
Wow.
You're pretty vulnerable.
Okay.
And I really, really like this word because one of the things that I tell myself all the time is that confidence is key and everything in life. Because I feel like with confidence, you can do anything and no one will question it at all. Whether you're a leader, whether you're doing something, one of the most batshit insane crazy things in life, but if you just have confidence, not only will you be able to do it, but the other people around you will believe in it. However, I think there is another side to that, which is that you can trick yourself to be confident when you're actually not. And I think this work encompasses it very well because it's all right to be confident in front of people, but it's also all right to not be confident inside. Yeah.
It can be built.
It can be built.
It can be made.
It can be built, it can be made, and you can trick yourself.
Right.
Yeah. And it will help you a lot in life, but you don't necessarily have to be confident inside.
Yeah. Probably sometimes just for a certain purpose, but it's a good exercise, I think.
Yeah.
You have to keep practicing, like building your confidence.
Or just simply showing confidence. You don't have to be confident. Just showing confidence will help you a lot in life.
Wow. Those are great 3 words that we learned from Phuwin today. And thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here.
Like I said, you're worth the wait. And thank you so much. Wish all the best lucks for you in everything that you will be doing in the future too. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. ขอบคุณครับ It's a pleasure.
รายการใหม่เอี่ยมที่ KND Studio มีชื่อว่า
เก่งอังกฤษกับคำนี้ดี
กับพี่บิ๊ก
และพี่ฟ้าค่ะ
สำหรับคนที่อยากจะได้ English Learning Mindset หรือว่าเทคนิคดีๆในการพัฒนาภาษาอังกฤษของคุณให้เก่งขึ้นเรื่อยๆต้องติดตามเลยครับ
ทำไมเราฟังออกทุกอย่างแต่พูดไม่ได้สักที
และในทางตรงกันข้ามครับทำไม Native Speaker of English Language ถึงไม่เข้าใจภาษาอังกฤษของเราสักที
How fast can we be good at English จะเก่งภาษาอังกฤษเนี่ยมันเร็วได้ขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอ
เรื่องอะไรเหล่านี้แหละที่เราจะมาพูดคุยกันในรายการจะหาคำตอบให้กับคุณมาดิสคัสกับคุณนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นก็ติดตามกันได้ที่
KND Studio
ทาง YouTube แล้วก็ทางทุกช่องทางทุกแพลตฟอร์มแล้วก็พอดแคสต์แอปพลิเคชันที่คุณใช้ประจำด้วยนะครับ